of the England Roger Sports Hour on Love Bay Afrobeats Music Talk Radio. Roger, wonderful weather today. Not so
Awesome weather.
wonderful this week earlier, but great this for
Yeah.
the rest going forward, hopefully.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. This finally feels like we're heading to summer, and it's feeling
Finally.
really, really good. We have a whole week of temperature in the 20s, they say. So certainly a lot to look forward to.
A lot to look forward
And
to.
no
And
rain or anything.
no
So,
rain, just
the
sunshine.
lawns may not like it, the plants may not like it, but I think the
Hey,
people are going to love it.
yeah, I went out, I think it was Thursday, and it was brutally cold. I was at King City,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah. It
it
was.
wasn't it
It
wasn't
was.
nice.
It was
But
almost winter jacket time again.
yeah, I took my winter jacket with me, but I didn't have to wear it, but I had it just in case.
Just in case.
Just
Gotta be
yeah,
prepared.
yeah, for sure. But as usual, it's a lot of sports intact, so it's your choice this weekend whether if you're in Toronto area, that is, if you want to stay inside and watch sports, you want to just tape it or watch it later and get
Yeah.
out and enjoy some of the sunshine. But we will keep you up to date and let you know what's happening with the sports for now.
Yeah, that's for sure. A lot of people I think are gonna take it outside and maybe watch sports indoors at another time. So a lot of taping would probably happen this weekend because the weather's just too good to give it up.
Too good to give it up for sure. And a lot to talk about, Roger. So we'll start. But I want to start off with some golf because last week was the PGA Championship,
Hmm.
and Brooks Koepka from the LIV Golf, Live Golf,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
won. And I always thought if anybody's going to win from Live was going to be either Brooks Brooks Koepka or Dustin Johnson.
Dustin,
And
yeah, yeah.
yeah, and Brooks put out a good show and good for golf and not so happy people on the PGA Tour.
Yeah, you know what? I think they're making a stand and it's slowly slipping away from them. So it's hard when you are in control for so long and everything goes through you, and then all of a sudden there's competition and the competition seems to be outdoing you. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do if they're going to finally just work something out. But interesting to see a live player winning the
Yeah, he won
PGA.
in the PGA. Yeah, and then the other thing is he's now put himself in line for an automatic spot on the US Ryder Cup team, and
Yeah,
that's the other debate.
yeah, yeah. Are they going to put him on?
How they're gonna put him on? Yeah, and
What's the reason not to put him on? Is the
I think
question.
it, yeah, if you go by the points and he has the points to do it, then
He's
why
there.
he's got to
He's
be
there.
there.
So
Yeah,
what? It's going to be interesting to see if they really have a conversation about that. He's making money, a lot more money than he was making a lot. Now he's making a lot more,
a lot more for
and
sure.
he's still winning. So what are you gonna do? Do you turn your back on him because he's playing for another in another competition or under another umbrella? I don't know. Uh,
Yeah, but
Interesting
it's
times.
gonna be some interesting times on the golf scene, and we'll keep an eye on that and see what happens.
Sure.
And last week we had cancellation of F1, but this week the Monaco Grand Prix is going
Yeah.
on. Qualifier is going on. I was watching some of the practices this morning, and Lewis Hamilton he hit the wall.
That's not a good place to hit.
No, it wasn't good, and they were saying it was a very surprising error on his part because he's normally so good.
Yeah, he's normally
You
good. I
know,
don't know if he's under a lot of pressure because honestly, he makes the headlines every week now, which is
he does.
he's not the leader. But yeah, he makes the headlines every week. So I don't know if he's too much going on in his life or whatever. He's always in the news, but he did have a good few good things to say about his car, though.
Yeah, he
He's
did say that there's
yeah,
improvements, right?
he felt improvement. So
Yeah,
that's why I was a little surprised that he'd run into that, but he was feeling good about it. He said felt good. He hoped for a little more, but he only finished sixth in that practice on Friday. But he was feeling good
hmm
about the car, or feeling better about the
yeah.
car. So, which is awesome to hear. He just needs to get his act together now and do everything right on the track.
I just said there's so much surrounding Hamilton this week. I mean, there's talk about him going to
Ferrari.
Ferrari, yeah, and then the news came out yesterday that he's close to an agreement with Mercedes
With
to continue.
Mercedes. And the funny thing is, I mean, this Ferrari argument keeps coming up, and it's like, okay,
Yes,
what's going to happen here? But he has always said he's sticking with Mercedes. He has
yes,
never wavered from that, from his point of view. But the news carries it all over the place, and a lot of people talking all sort of things. So it's going to be interesting to see. I don't think it's from his point of view. Is if Mercedes wants him, I think is the big question. So, as long as Mercedes wants to keep him there, he will be there because he has always said he's a Mercedes guy.
yeah. He's always said that for sure, and I can't see him going anywhere else. I think he's gonna just end his career at Mercedes as much as
Ideally, that's
at the
what should
moment.
happen.
Yeah.
Ideally, that's what it should happen. But I think sometimes money does strange things to people. So
Yes, we've seen that a lot recently.
yes, if Ferrari comes with a great offer, who knows? And we will see for sure because he hasn't solidified his contract and it's up for renewal at the end of summer. So,
Yeah,
okay, it's not too far away. We're talking about the weather, saying it feels like it's almost summer now. So, it can't be far away where his contract is going to be up.
that's so true. And now the qualifying is on the way. The first qualifying is on the way right now, and no surprise, Max Verstappen leads in the qualifier.
Always, always.
Charles Leclerc is down at fifth.
I
He
think
was
you don't
just
even have
leading.
to pencil that one in. I think you can
No,
almost stamp it in.
yeah,
Max Verstappen is the leader. Max Verstappen is the winner. It's almost guaranteed these days with the car that he has.
and the Mercedes is down in eighth and 12th. Russell is in eighth, and Lewis Hamilton is in 12th. It's just the first qualifying, and
Yeah, they're gonna come up higher
they're
by the
gonna
end of it
come up.
all, for
I'm
sure,
sure they will. Yeah.
for sure.
So
But Fernando Alonso is saying he's gonna be more attacking when he takes on this Monaco Grand Prix on Sunday. So let's see what he can come up with. He's done
he's
fairly
up
well. I think
there
he's
actually.
third.
He's third. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
third.
he's always third. But he's
Behind the
consistently
two.
third. But he said he thinks if he attacks more, he can go higher. So let's
Yeah.
see if he can. But I don't think he has the card to do it.
Well, they're going back and forth now because I'm just keeping an eye on it. And Max Verstappen is now in the fourth spot. Lando Norris is the number one. So
That's temporary.
we'll yeah, it's temporary. Hamilton down to 14, but as you said, it will be switching back and forth, I'm sure,
Yeah, until the practice is all done.
until it's done. Yeah, because they
Yeah,
still have some time.
yeah, we have a bit of time.
Yeah, so that we'll keep an eye on that as well. I'm Roger, the NBA. No surprises. We well expected a clean sweep, right? On the Western Division.
You know what? It was well. I know Denver was going to win, but I didn't see the sweep thing coming, and
No.
it's telling what LeBron is saying. It's like he's man after getting swept here. Should I be retiring from this sport?
Yeah, I know.
So that was a big question that came out of that because some people are saying it's the best team the Lakers has faced. Period.
Hmm.
So it will be difficult for them to win, which I've always said Denver is going to beat them, but I didn't see a sweep. I thought they would have had one or two. So
Yeah, I
it's
thought
it's
so.
it was a dominant performance by the Denver Nuggets, and right now they're solid favorites to take the whole thing. But it's not a good look for the LA Lakers, the storied Lakers franchise,
Yeah,
to be
it's
going
not.
down with a sweep.
Especially at home. You
Yeah,
thought they'd get at least one at home.
that was, and at one point they looked like they would have gotten one, but then
Yeah,
Denver came back. They just stuck with it. They have a plan, and they just stick with it, and it works. I
yeah.
must say that they're well coached because they haven't wavered.
No,
They
they
have
haven't.
not wavered even once since these playoffs have started. So they're locked in. They are absolutely locked in, and they're in cruise control until next week Thursday. I think it kicks off
Next
game
week
one.
Thursday, yeah. A little different on the East, and
A lot different
a
actually,
lot
because I
different.
mean, I was looking at this and saying lights out for Boston,
I
and I
was
was
thinking the
quite
same.
surprised because, as I've told you, I really like their intensity and their togetherness and all of that. So I was surprised they went down 3-0.
Hmm.
But what we're seeing here, I'm not sure if we're going to witness history. I don't know if you're willing to make a call, Ingle. How are we going
I
to witness history? I mean,
I
I
was
think in the
wondering the
NHL,
same
four
thing.
times they've come back from being down 0-3 to win.
Hmm.
Never in the NBA, ever.
You're right. I was actually wondering. Yeah, after those two wins, those two dominant wins, actually,
Dominant. That's the
I
big
was
word. They're
wondering.
dominant. Not
Yeah,
just
and
wins. They were dominant wins.
yeah, and then But Butler guarantees. He says he guarantees that Heat is going to win,
Well,
and so we'll know tonight at 8:30, right? If
I don't know. Honestly, I would not be surprised if Boston beat them tonight. I don't know about the game seven, but tonight I'm leaning towards Boston.
yeah, I
They're
will
on a
not be
roll right
surprised.
now, and they seem to have started to click in. The big players have all stepped up, and that Marcus Smart guy, who is just, in my opinion, just a rowdy hustler who does
Hmm.
anything and everything to win the game legally, he is he's stepped up big time, and I think he's a big part of the difference right here, right now. Not just the
Yeah.
superstars Brown and Tatum. So it's going to be a very, very interesting thing. I think someone had mentioned, you know what, Miami is just one player from being nobody, and
Hmm.
they lost one player, Gavin, I forget it, but yeah, he's out, and I think he should be back tonight. So let's see how
Yeah,
they
we'll see.
go.
Yeah, they're home, right? Miami home tonight.
Is
But
it re- is it
home
really
court
home anymore?
home court doesn't matter.
Is it really home anymore? So
Yeah,
it's
it
going to be
doesn't
interesting to
matter.
see because honestly, after they went up three, I thought it would have been impossible, and then maybe they took their foot off the gas in game four, which they should not have done, and
Yeah,
it just gave Boston confidence.
correct.
Because in game five, I think they tried to do something, but they just could not do anything,
They
right?
couldn't.
So
Yeah,
that was the key for me. It's not like they were not trying or they were having a bad day. They were just outplayed,
they
which is what
definitely
Boston
were
did to
outplayed.
Philadelphia. They just outplayed them, and I think they're doing the same now with the Heat. So can they win four in a row is always a big question. It's not an easy thing to do.
It's not easy, not impossible, and
Not impossible either. Not
no,
easy, but certainly not impossible.
yeah,
And
and
right now they're feeling it.
they are definitely.
They're
So
feeling it. I don't know. Are you a betting man? Are you gonna bet on
I
this one?
am, I'm still leaning towards Miami.
Miami.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I think I'm
I
on the
think
fence.
it's
I'm on the fence.
I think it's gonna go to 7 games though.
I think so as well. I think
Yeah,
so for tonight. I think Boston is gonna win tonight.
yeah,
I'm not willing to call game seven.
yeah. I'm not. It's probably
Yeah.
gonna be 3-all, and then
Then the
everybody
war starts in
war
game. That
starts.
would be, you know what? Whatever you're doing that night, you're gonna have to take time to watch that game because that is gonna be
Yes,
a
it
classic
is.
encounter. Because honestly, two very good teams, two fairly well coached team. I mean, everybody was talking about the Boston coach. No
Hmm.
one's really saying much about the Boston coach anymore because they've won two in a row.
Yeah,
But
they have.
for sure, Miami has a great coach, a solid team. I just think they optimize what they have, and if anything is out of sync, they have problems, and that's the thing that's their biggest challenge. But I think Boston has a little deeper bench and a little stronger team, so it's going to be interesting to see if Boston can find a way to win tonight, and I think they're feeling confident that they can.
That they can. Yeah, yeah. We'll watch that, and yeah, gonna probably watch the full game tonight.
Yeah,
And
it's certainly going to be an interesting game
an
tonight.
interesting game. Yeah,
And usually by halftime, you sort of know,
yeah. You
although
get
you
an
can't say
idea.
for sure, but usually by halftime, you know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think was the fourth game. I looked at the checked the score, and then I said, no, I don't need to watch this game.
It's going,
Yeah, it
it's
was
going in
just
one direction.
going. Yeah, it was
Just
going.
Boston.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. That was a big blowout.
it was. Yeah, yeah. So although yeah, everyone keep an eye on that, and let's see who's Denver is waiting patiently. And sometimes a team that's waiting around is not good for them.
It's not good at all because now they're gonna wait a week and a half to play a game. So
Yeah,
I know they're doing light practices and all of that stuff to try to keep, but there's nothing that beats real game action.
real game. Yeah.
And practice is halfway there, so it's good that they're practicing and keeping sharp and all of that. But in
Mm.
general, the team coming in from this one is gonna be on a roll. It could be Boston on a roll, right? So you just never know.
Mm-hmm.
You get a hot team, you're coming cold, it can be a challenge, even if
It,
you're at home. So it's not a good thing for Denver to be sitting so long.
yeah, it's not good for sure. So yeah, we're gonna look at those games and see what happens and keep you updated for sure.
Yeah,
And
it's going to
yeah,
be huge. I mean, as I said, the NBA this year, the parity is there, the excitement is there, and you almost feel as if you're missing out if you're missing the games.
if you're
So
missing the game, yeah,
it's a good playoff season this year for the NBA for sure.
yeah, for sure. NHL, some excitement too, but Florida is waiting to
Yeah, you
see
know what? I
Dallas
That's
or
another one that
Vegas.
I didn't see coming.
Yeah,
Did you
and it's
expect them to sweep the Carolina Panthers?
no,
I
I
would
didn't
say zero chance.
see exactly.
Zero chance. But the same way they gave the Leafs a hard time, and people may understand now why the Leafs struggled,
Mm-hmm.
this team is just next level right now.
It
I
is.
think Kachuk, he is just, well, they spent a lot of money to get him, and you know what? Talking about money well spent, he came in and he has made them who they are. I think he has scored in two overtimes back to back. You don't get up and do that every day. So money well spent. He's taken
Yeah,
them all the way. They're now sitting in the finals waiting to see who's going to
waiting to
join them.
see is Vegas or Dallas, and you said it, Roger. I think a couple of weeks ago that it's the teams from the warmer climates that
Warmer
are winning.
climate. Florida versus Vegas.
Yeah. So wow,
It's gonna be
who would have
interesting. But
thought that?
no one would have thought that. But it's I don't think Dallas can come back. I mean, the NHL is a
No,
little different. I mean, teams have come back from three down, but I don't see Vegas losing four games.
4 games. No, I don't see that either. So
I actually think they're
looking,
gonna win tonight.
yeah, I think they will. And the other thing that we normally talk about is some tennis, and well,
Yep.
just a day away from Paris.
It's
Oh,
time for a grand slam.
yeah, just a day away. There's no Nadal.
I know people are missing him more and more the closer it gets. I mean,
Yeah.
this guy has been winning this tournament whenever he wants. He has won it 12 times, so
Mm,
he's pretty much owned this in general. Uh,
yes, yeah,
so
it's
12 out
his.
of like 18 times. So I mean, yeah,
It's his. Yeah, and
it's really his.
yeah, it could. You know, people are wondering if it's going to be Alcaraz, but he's not done so well on clay recently.
Yeah,
Djokovic has a chance to go one up, and
yeah, to be the all-time winner. But I think
all-time winner. Mhm.
what is not so good for me personally, because I would have loved to have seen Djokovic and Alcaraz in the final. One is Alcaraz is number one, Djokovic is number three, and they're on the
And the
same
same
half of
side,
it.
yeah, and the same for the draw.
So
Yeah,
it's challenging now because they're going to meet in the semifinals if all goes according to plan. So
correct.
one of them is going to get knocked out going into the finals. So we may not see the final that I think probably everybody wants to see, but there's a young man, not so young anymore, but Medvedev,
And
never
Medvedev,
good
yeah,
on clay, but you know what? He's getting there. He beat
yeah,
Holger Rune for the Italian
yeah,
Open.
yeah. He won last week, right? Yeah,
Yeah, so it's like, okay, should we look out for him because he's a great player, just never good on clay, but he seems as if he's figuring it out.
yeah. He seemed to be figuring it out, and he had a good win last
Yeah,
week. And I think it's anybody's open actually. It's
it's
anybody.
looking that way. It's
Yeah.
looking that way, and that for me points to Djokovic giving a even bigger shot because he knows how to turn it up when it matters most. So I believe it makes it easier for him because right now Alcaraz is not great on clay, Medvedev is not great on clay. Holger Rune I thought would have been better, but he got beaten by Medvedev. So
Hmm.
at this point in time, it's open, as you said. And if it's open, who do you take? The man with the 22 titles or the or somebody else?
That's
So
somebody else. Yeah,
you go for the man with the many titles.
yeah. And on the women's side, there's a lot of chatter. Sabalenka can be number one if she wins.
Yeah, yeah.
Rybakina on the other hand, she said if she play her best, she can beat anyone. So
You know
yeah,
what? On the women's side, there's a big three: Swiatek,
that's why I think
Sabalenka, and Rabakina. They have
yeah,
won well the past four Grand Slams. One of them have won. So at this point in time, honestly, I think Swiatek is best position if she's not injured
if
to
she's
win
not
because I
injured,
think
yeah,
she loves this court. So she's the one that I think is going to adapt to it the best. But any one of these three can
can win,
win.
yeah.
Any
But
one of these three.
Jabber is also saying she's back to full fitness, so
I'm not sure though.
I don't know if she is. Yeah, she's
I'm
saying
not
she
so
is,
sure.
but
But she'll be
yeah,
the fourth one for that
she's the
semifinals, I
fourth
think.
one if
Yeah, because
she's best
I
fit.
just don't think she's there yet.
Right.
Honestly, I mean she's on her way back, but I think this
And
is just too soon for her to.
and she hasn't been able to play too many tournaments leading
No,
up. So
no, I don't think she's sharp
I
enough to win
yeah,
this. You never know though. Sometimes people just go on a roll. What's her name? That one, Raducanu, I think her name was
with the
that one
kind
with
yeah.
U.S. Open, and she
Yeah,
hasn't done anything since. But when she was playing the U.S. Open, no one could stop her. So maybe that's Jabor. Who
it
knows?
is. There's a lot of questions about Ravikant. The people are questioning does she really like tennis, and stuff like that. And if she, if she want to really play tennis, if she been forced because she won that tournament, so
You know
that,
what? You see, when you're at this level and people are questioning whether you even want to be in the sport, then obviously there's a problem here.
yeah,
So,
there's a problem. Yeah,
yes, you can't. She may be just playing off talent, but not with the passion that she needs to play with.
right,
And as you get to this level, you have to be passionate about this. You have to be truly passionate about this if you're going to keep on winning. So she's going to be in trouble if she doesn't have her mind set the right way for this.
right.
I feel bad for Sabalenka though, because I mean I don't know her personally, of course, but she's from Belarus, and anybody from Ukraine that she's going to play.
Oh yeah,
She's even coming out to say, I know she hates me, because yes, it's gonna be tough.
it's
It's
gonna
gonna
be
be
tough.
any
Yeah,
Russian or Belarusian players. They're probably gonna get a little more pressure than they need to.
mm, yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be tough, and it's tough for her to go through that because, as you said, but you know what's happening with
It's a
anyone
war,
who's it's a war, and whoever is supporting Russia, well, that's too
yeah,
bad.
which is
Yeah,
not many, right? So, you
and
know, eyes are on her.
so
So yes, a lot of eyes are going to be on her. Let's see how she manages that stress as we go along. All right, moving along. I think Ingo,
happening there. So we'll
you got
get
frozen a bit, eh?
yeah. No, I was saying that yesterday I turned on my Facebook and every second feed was about something in track and field. Who is all the big
Really?
names? Yeah, all the big names taking part, the ones who dropped out.
There's
There's
a lot
so
of
much.
stories about the ones dropping out more than the ones that are in, but
Yeah, that's so true. And suspensions, so you got a
yeah.
lot to talk about. So we'll get through some cricket first and just talk about the IPL. And any surprises to you that Gujarat Titans and Chennai Super Kings are in the finals?
I will say that Mr. Gill caught my eye. So I've been hearing about Mr. Gill. I actually took the time to watch Mr. Gill,
Super.
and I can see what people are talking about. So yeah, Gujarat is right. They're entitled to be there when they have Mr. Gill on their team,
Yeah,
I
I
should
mean,
say.
yesterday when I watched him, I thought Chris Gale's 175 would be gone today.
Exactly.
That's what
This
I was
guy,
thinking.
Ingle, this guy, I mean, I don't know, man. He
This is
is something.
three centuries in this year's IPL.
He
Three
is
centuries, no
something.
easy feat.
No, this guy, I was watching it, I was like, oh my God, how are they going to get this guy out?
And yeah, I couldn't leave. I had to watch.
There you go. There you
I
go. I was
could
starting to
not
watch it, like,
leave.
wait here. This guy is something else.
Yeah,
I've heard that he's the next one, but I think he is the one right now.
he is the one. I mean, to me, I think I was saying to an Indian friend of mine yesterday, I said, you're not going to even hear anybody mention Virat Kohli
Kohli
soon.
anymore. And
Yeah.
Kohli, I think he scored a century too, right? In the previous
He
game,
did.
right?
He had two centuries, yeah, in this
Yeah.
league.
So
So,
he's
yeah.
fighting his way back to form, and people are not
No,
even talking about it.
and he said, Kohli actually said he's in great form. There's nothing wrong with his form, but people are just not talking about him the same way. And Gale's got 851 runs at an average of 60.78 in this year's IPL.
Yes.
The Plessy's got 730, and Kohli's third with 639, and we're averaging over 50 at 53.25, but no one's even paying attention to that.
Attention, yeah, because those are great numbers.
Very good numbers for sure.
I
And
mean, I don't know what your thoughts are on Gill in terms of where he's going to go with this, but I mean, from what I saw, he's there to take over this batting mantle from Kohli for sure.
yeah, he caught my eye when I saw him score century against Australia. And the thing about it, I think that stood out to me most was that you know that the subcontinent batsmen are not known to play fast bowling well.
That's
But
doing very well,
he
yeah.
took on the fast bowlers. He was hooking them. He was
Yep,
cutting them. He didn't have any fear at all. And I
he was
mean, just
very comfortable
very, very
with
comfortable.
fast bowling, and that for me is like, okay, this guy, as I said, he's next level.
He is next level. Yeah. So it's actually rematch of these two teams met in the qualifier because they were first and second.
Hmm.
And Chennai beat Super Kings. They scored 172 and bowled them out for 157. But I'm not sure. Shubman Gill had 42 in that game. Is it time for him to fail again, or is he going to step up this time?
You know what? You find how good a man is when he does it in the finals. So this is a good test for him. I think coming in though, he has showed his worth that he's a superstar, and he'll prove to all and sundry that he's a great superstar if he can go off in the final and make big runs. So something to look for to see
It's
how
gonna,
mentally he's strong he's going to be to win the finals for his team.
yeah, it's going to be a good thing, and it's just the fact that CSK can get there, Roger, is just a testament to it's not just the team, but I think MS Dhoni, his leadership,
Yes,
and
yes. He certainly doesn't get as much credit as he should, don't he?
no, he
He's been
doesn't.
solid for his entire career. Not superstar, but very, very, very solid as a leader when he comes to bat, whatever. He does his team justice every time he's out there.
Yeah, he's actually going for his fifth win. They've won four times, and
Yeah,
it's just
leadership,
phenomenal. Yeah, the leadership
leadership.
of Downey is excellent. Good team actually. They've got Gaikwad, Conway, those
Yeah,
Shivam Dumas. So some good players in that team.
yeah,
Jadeja, you can't forget Jadeja and Moeen Ali, who's been playing well too. So I think
correct.
it's going to be a fantastic finals tomorrow.
It definitely will be. It definitely will be. I mean, right now I'm gonna be leaning towards Gill and Gujarat, but I don't know which side are you on.
I'm going with the CSK.
Ah,
I'm
they are the
going.
they are the better team.
um, I'm
So
going with CSK because I think that Gill would fail. I
you think
just
it's
have
gonna
that
fail?
feeling. I think
I,
he's going to fail,
I'm not
and
gonna bet on that. So, but I think the CSK is a better team.
I'm going on law of averages.
It's coming like the racehorse thing, right? You win
Yeah,
3 or 4 in a row, then you have this
then you
bounce
have
race, right?
Jones. Yes,
So you're saying Gill is gonna bounce.
yeah,
I
that's
don't
what
think
I'm
he's. I
thinking.
don't think he's
But
gonna bounce.
I
I
don't
don't think.
want him to because
I
I actually would like to see him back.
see the Kings are a better team in my opinion, so they should win. But I think Gill can turn the game.
Yeah, if they don't get Gill out, then they're in for a long day. They're
Long
gonna,
day.
yeah, they're gonna be
They're gonna
in
be in for a
trouble.
long 3 hours.
Yeah, if it's gonna be, if Gujarat bat first, then I think they'll be. If they don't get him out, they'll be chasing 200
200.
plus.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. They're gonna have to go for
so
200, which is never easy to chase.
not in, especially in a final.
Right? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so it's
I'm leaning towards Gujarat. So that's gonna be my pick.
yeah for sure. Should be some a good game. So 10 o'clock
Oh,
tomorrow morning.
yep.
Don't miss out on that game.
Certain
It's
interesting times.
it is.
IPL final.
Yeah, and I think yesterday I was talking to, as I said, a friend from India, and he was telling me the stadium that's going to host the World Cup finals holds 140,000 people.
What?
Yeah, and I was watching the
No,
game yesterday. There was 80,000 in the stands, and I'm thinking this is a huge crowd. So could you imagine going to a game with
no,
140,000?
I can't. That's to test my nerves. That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people. Yeah,
Wow.
it's
Wow. I mean, I
yeah,
didn't even, I mean, I've heard about 100, I think up to 110 or 20, but I've never heard 140. So that's a
no,
massive stadium we're talking about here.
it has to be a massive stadium for sure.
Wow.
Yeah,
Interesting because, I know when they go to Mexico, Azteca for soccer, it's 100,000 and it's a lot of noise. And so
mhm.
can you imagine, India's in that final there?
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. So we'll look at the IPL and keep you updated next week on how the final goes. And the other cricket that's happening in the West Indies T20 Blaze, and two teams were in with a chance up to today's final match to win that tournament.
Hmm.
Guyana and Barbados were on same points, but one of those teams have blown it, Roger. I think. Well, I don't even know what's happening on this game because Guyana is playing Trinidad and Tobago. They only scored 39 in 19.3 overs.
Did they
And
fall asleep out there or something?
but Trinidad chasing 39 are struggling in 14.2 overs. They're 22 for 6. So I'm wondering if what's wrong with the pitch.
Something must be wrong with the pitch, or
Yeah,
something is going on with the players. But this
oh, the
is
players. Maybe
this is ridiculous.
yeah,
You
it
you
is.
can't make 40.
Yeah, it's like
Not even 2 runs and over in a T20. That doesn't make sense.
no, I'm wondering if are they tired after playing the 50 over and then now another week
I
of
don't
T20?
know.
I don't know, but there's no excuses.
Yeah, that I won't make an excuse for them. This is just ridiculous. You can't make 40 in 20 overs, no matter what the conditions. But I mean, yeah, maybe it must be the pitch.
It must be something in the picture. I'll put it down to that. And the other game that's happening is Barbados Leeward Islands, and Barbados look like they should win this one. They are
Yeah.
chasing 121 that made by Leeward in the 20 overs. And top score for Leeward Islands was the Canadian captain Divya Saxena, who had mentioned is representing them. She had 33 not out.
Nice. Good.
And
Good.
Barbados 80 for one with only 9.5 overs. I've noticed that actually I should have checked it out because I'd noticed that Haley Matthews didn't play in the T20 Blaze. So I don't know if she left and went. She was given permission to go to England to play in the 100.
Maybe. Maybe.
Maybe she was after such a fantastic 50 over Super 50.
Yeah,
But
she was in great form.
yeah, but Barbados still can look like they're going to do the double. And
Yeah, they're looking good. They're looking
yeah,
good.
and the other game, Jamaica and Windward Islands. Close one. Jamaica 102 for 6 in their 20 overs, and Windward Islands are 75 for 3 in 12.2 overs. So it should be a close one there.
That's yeah, it should be close. Stephanie Taylor seems to be
She's back.
handling her injury fairly well, so she's been
Yeah.
solid.
Seems like she's better for her to play the T20s because she's got some good scores. So
Yeah, she has.
maybe,
She
yeah,
has.
maybe she needs to just call it a day on 50 overs and focus on T20 cricket.
Yeah, yeah, with her
Yeah,
physical
bit of,
challenges.
yeah, for sure. And good news for West Indies A as they beat Bangladesh.
I saw that.
And yeah, they go one up in that series, and the final match goes on Monday.
Yeah,
So, Cricket West Indies should be happy with that. And I think I was
should be. And I was happy to see Brandon King get into the runs finally.
oh finally, because I was thinking, what's wrong with Brandon?
As a guy got 2 ducks in a row or something like that.
Yeah, two ducks in a row, and I'm one who always advocate for him to be playing all formats. So I was so
Yeah,
happy to see him get a half century.
yeah. Proves
Yeah,
you're right. No, I think
yeah,
he actually sounds like he prefers the
the
longer
longer
format.
version.
Yeah,
Yeah, but the player I think so far who's impressed me on that tour is Kevin Sinclair
Sinclair.
and
Yeah.
Kirk McKenzie. But Kirk McKenzie's twice got close to hundreds, but fell short.
I don't know what's going on. I mean, you got 90s and 80s, right? So
Yeah,
he's up there, but he can't get across the line. He needs to get across the line to get that 100.
yeah, he need
But
that
he's doing
100.
extremely well.
Yeah, he had 91
91.
and 86 in that first game.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, he's been looking good and solid. So
Yes.
this yeah, Bangladesh will have to come back and win this other game to draw the series. But I'm picking West Indies to
Yeah,
actually
I'm actually fairly confident the West Indies is going to beat them, to tell the truth.
yeah. And there's some changes to the team because Permal actually went to join the team as cover for Moti, who's suffering from an injury,
Yeah, lower back injury. Huh?
lower
Yeah,
back injury.
I mean, I'm
Yeah,
happy for Purmal. I think he does well in regional cricket and extremely well, actually. So it's good that he's at least with the team, even if he's not going to play much, but at least he's with the team.
he is with the team for sure. And some news and notes on West Indies have been drawn alongside Netherlands, Nepal, United States, and
Bit frozen again. So yeah, they've been drawn. They should win that easily, though. I think they're stronger than those qualifiers, and they should easily take that tournament. English, you're frozen again.
yeah, I think I got frozen again. I don't know.
Yeah,
No, I was saying the West Indies are now going to the qualifier, and they're in a group with the United States, Nepal, Netherlands, and Zimbabwe.
yeah.
Barring anything, some surprise, I think West Indies should go through easily.
It should be very. I was just saying it should be extremely easy for them to go through, as
Yeah,
long as they don't take it for granted.
exactly. And the Ashes for the women and men coming up soon, but Australian captain Meg Lannon, she's pulled out, ruled
Yeah, the
out of the
woman. Yeah,
Ashes. She's got
saw that.
the medical reasons. So,
I saw. But I noticed
and
that the West Indies they drafted in Johnson Charles. I mean,
right, well, yeah,
I don't know.
in
I'm
place
not a
of
huge
Devon.
fan, but I mean, maybe you are more than I am. But is that a good call?
I was surprised actually. That shocked me. I mean, T20, yes, but for the 50 over, I was a bit
Like, how did
surprised.
he? Who likes him?
Yeah,
How does he get these calls?
yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
Maybe he's gonna surprise me again and do well.
Darren
But
Sam is the new white ball
yeah,
coach, and
yeah,
I'm
he
sure
is.
he has a
Maybe it's
lot
a
to
Sammy
say.
thing. It's a
Yeah,
Sammy
yeah,
thing. But I mean,
yeah.
what I found amusing with Sammy too, he came out and he said people always doubt him and he always proves them wrong. So
So yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
if you have bought into that, but let's see if he can prove everybody wrong because a lot of people are saying he's not best suited for this role at this point in his career.
That's what a lot of people are saying, and I think it's okay for him. To be there as a leader. Maybe they, but maybe I don't know if coaching is a role that they should have given him because I think he can bring people together.
Yeah.
And yeah, as you mentioned, Johnson Child's been drafted into the team, and it's not for a good reason though, because Devon
Devon
Thomas,
Thomas.
yeah, he's been slapped with anti-corruption.
Yeah, they're
Uh,
confident he's going to win it, though. Apparently, Weeper
I,
is confident that he will win it. So let's see. Interesting
let's see,
that
because you know that governing bodies don't put your name out there unless they have concrete
they
evidence.
got to have they don't lose so easily. It's
No,
very
they
rare
don't
that they
lose so
take the
easy.
time to do their research and put it out there. So
And it didn't just happen and they put it out there. They did their investigations, they put it out
they
there.
had examples. It's not only one place; it was like three different places.
Three
So
different three different events. And
yeah,
Abu
yeah.
Dhabi T10 itself, that tournament is under investigation.
There
So
you go. There you go.
yeah,
I don't. I mean, I don't know him, so I can't comment to say
I
whether
don't
he's
know.
good or bad. But it sounds a little fishy based on what came out.
I don't know him that well. And the Antigua, I heard an interview with the Antigua cricket president, and he said, you know what, give him his time and to clear his name, and
Yeah,
let's hope that he can.
exactly.
Yeah.
And
So
that's the best approach, right? So,
yeah,
I mean, as I said, Weeper is confident that he's going to win. So, obviously, he has strong arguments too that he's going to take to the table. So, I mean, for his sake, I mean, it's never good to be accused of something that you haven't done. So, I mean, if he's clean, then he deserves this chance to prove that he's clean and clear
he's
his
clean.
name.
You're correct, and let's hope he can. He will get that chance. So let's hope that
Yep.
he really has concrete evidence, as he says, because I mean, he's a likable young man. But
Yep. Yep.
we'll see. Well, that's it for cricket, and we're now about 21 minutes away from 10. Wow, it's time just flies. And as we said earlier, there's so much to talk about track and field. Just to remind you, you're listening to Love Bay Afrobeats Music Talk Radio, and we'll get Roger to let you know what's happening on the track and field scene.
Yes, Ingle. There's so much going on the track and field scene. Last weekend we had the Bermuda Grand Prix, and we saw Christian Coleman take on Noah Lyles in that race, and it was wind assisted. Don't get me wrong, but it was Christian Coleman. He led, and
Hmm.
honestly, if it was 2 more meters, I think Noah Lyles would have passed him. But it was 9.78 to 9.80, with young Jamaican Akeem Blake third, 9.87. So a pretty close race between the three,
Hmm.
but Coleman was always leading, always looking at the winner until Noah Lyles make it interesting in the last 20 meters. So
Yeah,
good to see. The
yeah.
races are getting warm when you see a
I was
tight race
wondering.
like that.
I was wondering where he got that little burst of speed at the end there when I watched
Yeah,
the race.
he's always been like that. I think he's getting better. Usually, he's usually too far behind to make an impact, but I think he's getting
Okay.
better in terms of how close he is after
Hmm.
60 meters, and he's definitely faster. So it's going to be interesting to see if he's going to find a way to catch them before the 100 meters is done. So, and I wouldn't put it past him because he's very determined and very talented. We also saw Bahamian Stephen Gardner open up his 400 meters. He's, of course, the Olympic champion, and he won the 400 meters in 44.42. So a great opener for him, looking really, really good, and he's going to be extremely competitive this year to take the title in Budapest. In the 100 meters for women, this young Tamari Davis, 19, she won in 10.91, defeating Jamaican Sasha Lee Forbes, who is, I guess, on top of her game because she ran a personal best of 10.98 for seconds. So it's interesting to see Sasha Lee Forbes back in the mix. I mean, she was World University champion a few years ago, and a lot was expected of her. She was running 11.0, but that was like 5 years ago. And to see her get to 10.98 means that she's probably back and could potentially be a contender to make that Jamaican team to go to the World Championships. We also saw Abby Steiner. So a lot is talked about Abby Steiner. She was dominant in
Yeah.
college. She was dominant at the World Games in Oregon on the relays, and she's opened up her season with a 22.06 running in that 200 for victory. So she looked quite good.
Hmm.
22.06 is no sneeze. I mean, she didn't do it the way Shakari Richardson did her
Right.
22.07, celebrated 40 meters out, but she looked very solid running 22.06, and she will definitely run 21 this year. So the 200 is getting really, really, really hot as far as I can see for women. We also saw a Canadian, Robert Heppenstall. He won the 1500 meters, so kudos to him to have a Canadian on the victory podium at that meet. We also had all comers meet in Jamaica. So the J3 is in Jamaica puts on these all comers meet so athletes get an opportunity to stay sharp. And the big race at that meet, well, the 200 meters were the big races. So on the women's side, it was Brianna Williams, who so much is thought of, double world
Hmm.
junior champion a few years ago.
Hmm.
She was taking on the current high school champion, Alana Reed, in that 100-meter race. And man, it was close. So Brianna led from start to about 90 meters before Alana Reed caught up with her and defeated her 11.16 to 11.20. So a very close race. I know Brianna doesn't like to lose, but I think she's coming back from injury, so she's going to get better as the season goes along. Alana Reed is in great form right now, and she won 11.16. So kudos to her to beat Brianna Williams here.
Yeah.
On the men's side, Oblique Seville, and he ran 9.94 in the to win. And I will say, not like Shakari Richardson, but he stopped running from about 20 meters out. So he's looking really, really sharp. And he won 9.94, defeating none other than Johan Blake, who's coming back to form. He ran 10.15. So let's see how Johan comes on. I think this is like his first real race for the season, so he's coming along slowly. But look out. Oblique Seville is going to run something very, very fast this year. In the 200 meters, we saw Sharika Jackson. This was her first 200-meter race for the year, and she just cruised 22.25. Not 22.0 like Shakari or Abby, but 22.25, looking very relaxed. And it's from here, it's going to be bigger and bigger things. So, looking forward to see how well she's going to do because she has promised she's going to take a big shot at that 21:34 world record from Flojo from 1988.
Hmm.
On the men's side, we saw Zarnell Hughes, trains out of Jamaica with Glenn Mills. He won. He runs for Great Britain, and he won the 200 meters, and he looked good, running 20.18 to win that race. So he's in great shape as well. So look out for Zarnell Hughes this year. As long as he doesn't pick start, he does a lot of pick starts. I don't know why. As long as he stays in the blocks and wait till the gun goes, he'll have a shot of being a medalist this year or being in the finals for sure. Over there in Japan, Fred Curley, the man with all the talk, he's saying he's going to dominate this year. Hasn't lost yet. So he won the 100 meters there in 9.88. Looking very. He had no competition really. It was some Japanese guys coming up and coming guys running 10.0 stuff, but he was way ahead of them and won 9.88 very easily. So, of course, everyone is talking about what's going to happen tomorrow. So,
Much,
tomorrow
yeah.
is the clash, Inga, the clash of the year in the men's 100 meters. So we had Curly lined up against Trayvon Bormel and Akani Simbini and Leslie Tobigo from Botswana, the world junior champion, and Omanyala from Kenya, all lined up along with Marcel Jacobs. And before the race, Curly said, Marcel is going to pull out for some reason because he loves to duck.
Right.
And right on cue,
He
Marcel
didn't
Jacobs
disappoint.
came out. So by the way, I am not injured, but I had this little thing happen to me in training where I took a misstep, and unfortunately, I cannot compete on Sunday. It's like, okay, so I think Fred Curley called this. What happened? I don't know. What is he ducking, Engel? Is
I
he
think,
really
yeah.
ducking?
Of course, he's ducking. For some reason, he's ducking. He's probably not feeling it. Maybe he's not feeling that he can beat these guys. Like in practice, he should know where he's
Maybe,
at, and maybe he's
maybe.
not feeling he's not even going to be close. So
I'm wondering
Major.
because he got beaten indoors by another Italian, and I think
Yes.
maybe he's realizing that maybe he's not where he needs to be. Although he came out and he said he doesn't understand how people complain about training because he's motivated to get up every morning out of bed and go train. So
Mm.
maybe he's overtrained. Who knows? I don't know. But right now, I don't think he's confident. Because the
Mhm.
last thing he would want is to come into this field and come sixth.
Exactly. And then he's got so much. Him and Curly's been back and forth so
Back and
much,
forth, back and forth. So
back
to
and
come here
forth.
and not even make the top three would be a big thing. Eh, eh, I mean, in today's cancel culture, you'd probably get cancelled.
You get, yeah, you get canceled. Yeah, you
So
know.
I don't know. He's saying the clash is just postponed. It's not cancelled. He'll be back. Blah 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 blah. I don't think he's mentally prepared to lose, and I think he believes he's gonna lose. I
I
think it's just a weak excuse, Ingo.
I totally agree. I think he believes he's gonna lose, and he just says, you know what? Yeah, as you said, he's not prepared to lose, so he's not doing that.
He's just not running.
So he's not running. Yeah.
So we will see how that works out for them. But tomorrow's supposed to be a really hot meet over there in Rabat Diamond League. We also have a 1500 meters where Ngusi from the US, he's the new kid on the block in the 1500 meters, and he's looking very dominant on the North American side. He's going to take on Ingebrigtsen, so the champion from Norway. So it should be an interesting 1500 meters. Let's see how fast they can go, but it should be a very interesting 1500-meter race there as well. But on top today, so that's tomorrow, but on top today over there in LA, we have the lady of the moment, the superstar of the
Sure.
moment, Shakari Richardson. She's going to be back on track, and she's saying, put me in any race, anytime against anybody. I'm ready to do my thing. So she's extremely confident now, but this is going to be her first real. Well, she did beat Sherika Jackson, which was a good race,
Mm-hmm.
but she's going to be taking on Aliyah Hobbs, the
Yeah,
U.S. indoor
Hobbs.
champion, who is on
Was
top of
it?
her
That
game,
was a good game. Yeah.
and
Was it?
Talu. Talu ran
Oh yes,
9.78.
Tyler's in that. Yeah.
Yeah, so the three of them are going to line up today in the LA Grand Prix, and it's going to be a very, very, very hot race. I don't know. I am feeling Shakari, so I think she's going to win. Do you think she's going to win
I
as well?
think she's gonna win. I don't think Shikari wants to lose again, so she's gonna
Yeah,
be putting up. Yeah, she's not gonna lose these races. Maybe when it comes to the top races like the World
ranking.
Championships,
Yeah.
but she's not gonna lose these races. I don't think.
This is not going to be an easy one for her. I can tell you that. I can
No,
tell you
and
that she's going to forget. I mean, Talu is a little older now, but she's still running well.
she's running well. And
And when
Aliyah
she comes to
Hobbs.
drop her 100, Talu is very dangerous. She's always in the top four. So you got to look out for her. But Aliyah Hobbs is the one that I'm really looking to see what she's going to do because she hasn't lost all year.
Hmm.
Maybe it's time for her to lose. So we will
Maybe.
see, But this for me is the two top Americans going against each other early season. So let's see how this one works out. But I'm looking forward to this race actually to see how well Shakari does. And with great weather, who knows? We may see a 10-6 here. So
Wow.
actually excited to see this race today.
What time is that race on?
Well, the meet is on NBC at
It's
from
on NBC at 4 o'clock,
4:30
right?
4:30 to 6.
Okay.
So it should be there. We can actually take a look at that at that time. So I'm not sure exactly when the 100 meters is going to be run there, but it's going to be somewhere between that timeline. We also see at that meet Christian Coleman is going to be back on the track. He's taking on Marvin Bracey, and that should be an interesting race. Of course, Bracey was second at World Championship. Coleman was fourth. And another one is the world champion, Toby Amusin, not only world champion, world record holder, taking on the Olympic champion, Camacha Queen from Puerto Rico in the 100-meter hurdles race for women. That should also be a very fast and hot race. So a good meet today
Mm-hmm.
over there in LA.
In LA.
Also happening today, we have in Ottawa, there's a 10K going on where the current Canadian event record holder, Mohamed Ahmad, he's going to take on the half marathon and marathon record holder, Cam Levins, in a 10K on the road. So that should be really, really nice to watch these two go up against each other. The distance kings, I would say, in Canada on the 10K over there in Ottawa. And we also see Damian Warner. He's over there at the Gutsies meet. He's crushed because he got injured at the World Championships. He feels he's ready to break the world record. And of course, the Gutsies meet is the unofficial World Championships of multi-eventers. So he has won it 8 times already. So he's really, really good at this meet. So let's see if he can actually get the world record. But he's talking world record right now.
I've
So
seen there was a meet. I was seeing a Canadian at top of the leaderboard for the decathlon.
It would be him, right?
No,
Or Prince
it's
Lapage?
a different, totally different name that I hadn't seen. I can't remember.
Prince Lapage?
That sounds, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah. So he won silver at World Championships, right? So Prince is
okay.
he's pretty good as well. When Damon Warner went out, he took up the mantle and took it on for Canada, and he won silver. So he's tall, eh? Like I've stood beside him, and he towers over me. I think he's like 6'7". So
Wow.
he's tall and he's in great shape. I've seen him working out as well, and he's really in great shape. So he's dangerous as well. A lot of talk is about Damian Warner, but Prince has done really, really well to get his name out there, and he's a medalist, so you can't take that from him. So looking forward to see how this one finishes up over there in
Hmm.
Gotsis.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I think Ingle does some quick news and notes. 2024 Paris. They say the organizing committee wants the Olympic flame to be installed where? On top of the Eiffel Tower.
On
So
top of that. Wow.
that would be cool. Wouldn't it be cool?
It would be cool, yeah.
It would be cool. Let's see if they get approval to do it. But I would love to see that. That should make it pretty, pretty, pretty nice over there in France. And finally, we just to say that Asafa Powell, he was over there in Bermuda as the race ambassador for the meet. And he was in the newspaper saying he's contemplating defying father time and returning to the track at 40
You
to see
serious?
to see if he can get those final 300-meter races on the sub 10. So I don't think he will.
I don't
He
think
said he
so.
hates the training and he doesn't want to go back to the training, but he wants to get that 100 sub 10. So it's hard to be at 97
It's 97, yeah.
and
I
can't get
thought
over the bump.
I thought he had 100 because some were
Uh,
ruled out, maybe. I'm not sure, but
yeah, yeah.
but I
Works out to
thought, yeah, it
97.
looked there. I actually saw him when I was in St. Kitts. Ran into Kim Collins, and he looks in great shape.
He's
He
always in
was,
good shape.
yeah, he was. I was in the gym working out, and he was there.
Nice.
He is in fantastic shape. I had a quick chat with him, and yeah.
So he's one of the few, maybe the only one that has run sub 10 after the age of 40.
Hmm.
So if he can do it, maybe Asafa can do it too. But Kim is always in great shape, not a word about training. He doesn't lift weights and all of that. So his training
No,
program is
he's
a little
just
different.
very
Yeah,
lightweight. He was
yeah,
doing, and
yeah. He's
mostly
smart.
stuff with his body.
There you go. So he's always
Yeah.
in great shape without being heavy. So Asafa is more on the heavier side. He's bigger, he's 6'2". So it'll
Hmm.
be interesting to see if he really, really decides to come back and can run a sub 10 past the age of 40. I would say no, but that's just me.
Yeah, that would. But I'm
That is
sure
just me.
those three sub tens must be bugging him. So
It is. Obviously, it is, and it
yeah,
bugs a lot of people that he got so close and couldn't get across the line.
yeah.
So, and I mean that's like 3, 4 years now. So I don't know why he thinks he's have the ability to come back and do it now. I don't
Hmm.
think so. I don't think so. Some quick football news, soccer, before we go. And I'm not sure what your thoughts are on this. Over there in Spain, Vinicius Junior, Real Madrid is getting a really hard time. They're abusing him
Yeah,
on the field. They're abusing him. They put in effigies across the bridges, and so they've
yeah,
arrested 7 people for racial abuse
correct.
against Vinicius Junior. But I his coaches even said he didn't even want to continue playing because of the racism chants and all of that stuff. So it must be extremely tough for this young man to be under all this stress.
I think the officials team also got some sort of reprimand as well because they
Yes,
didn't
they
do
didn't do
anything.
anything about it, and
Yeah,
and
and
I think that's
it's
the most disappointing thing. And Pep Guardiola, he has come out and said he is not optimistic that Spain will take the appropriate measures to
no,
combat racism in the country. So, and he was there for a while, so he knows what's going on in Spain. So if it's not coming from the top, it's going to be difficult.
yeah, because the head of the La Liga, he's not even saying any, or,
No,
no, he's basically acting as though they are the ones who are the
they're the
the
victims.
victims. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, which is
you
just
know,
unbelievable. It's like,
it's, yeah,
oh, why are we going through? It's like, buddy, you need to fix your system.
yeah, it
So,
is.
even Lewis Hamilton came out and says, what it has evoked painful memories from his own career because he went through it a lot. I mean,
Hmm.
the black guy driving the car so fast and winning. So he's been through it. And, Vinicius Jr. doesn't deserve this, man. It's really
No,
tough
he
for this
doesn't
young kid.
deserve it. Certainly doesn't deserve that.
Really, really tough. I
Yeah.
mean, I can't get off football without talking about that big game on Thursday
Which
between
game?
my team and your team. So I came up against you, and what happened, Ingo?
I don't remember. What's their score?
Yeah, there was a score. Manchester United 4,
4-1, was it?
Chelsea 1. So that was just me sending you a message there that, when we're
Yeah,
ready, Ingo, don't play with us.
4-1, yeah. I'm not
Uh,
even looking at them. I'm looking at the women's.
and the women looks, they have a really good shot to take the women's title today, so this weekend.
Yeah.
So I think they're gonna defend it. I think they just gotta win and they'll be through. So I think they're gonna do
Well,
that.
they won today over Reading
Oh, they
2-1.
already finished. Yeah. So yep, then they're
Yeah,
through then.
they're through, yeah.
Yeah, they're the champions.
58 points. Yeah, they're through. Yeah, it's done. They're the
It's done.
champions.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
if they win, they're gonna win the EPL. So yeah, so I wasn't sure what the score was, but it's good. They're
2
through.
yeah, yeah.
Congratulations, Ingle. I mean,
Yeah,
you can't do it on the boys' side, but you did it on the
yeah,
girls'
on the
side.
girls' side, yeah, for sure. And Man U actually was second,
Yeah,
54.
can you imagine? Can you
Yeah,
imagine? Yeah, if Man U won and Chelsea drew or lost, Man U would have taken the thing. So as
so
long as
correct.
Chelsea won, they're gonna take it. So, I mean, tomorrow's the final day in the EPL for this year, and the top six has been decided, but the bottom three is still undecided. So some people have something to play for tomorrow.
Yeah, there's still a lot to play for some of the teams, and our colleague John Jason, his team is there too.
In the
Everton is
he's
in
in the
seventh.
relegation zone. He's not.
Yeah,
He's
they're
not in the
seven.
good part.
No, they're 17th and just 2 points ahead.
They may go
So
down. I would
they
not be shocked if they go down because they have not been good this year.
and
So it's
who do they
interesting
play
to
on
see.
Sunday?
Yeah, I think I have the link.
Um,
Can't recall right now. But
yeah,
it's gonna be interesting for those
oh,
bottom three.
they play Bournemouth, who is down
Bournemouth.
there with them too. So
Yeah,
it's a big clash.
that's a clash. That is a
Yeah,
clash. Over there in Germany, though, Borussia Dortmund, for the first time I think since 2010, is looking to take the German title away from Bayern Munich. So surprisingly, Bayern Munich lost last week, and that has just turned everything upside down. So now they are 1 point behind Borussia Dortmund. So for the first in a long time, Bayern Munich looking as if they're going to lose the German
wow.
Bundesliga.
Don't even think could remember when that happened.
I can't. That's the thing. I can't even recall.
Okay.
Tell the truth, it's like automatically stamped that they're going to win.
Yeah,
So they struggle this year a lot, and
it's
it's not 100% surprising to see that they're going to likely, because Dortmund still has to win. Likely they're going to lose the
likely they're
championship.
gonna lose it. And before we wrap up, just a couple of minutes left. George Russell is in fourth, Hamilton fifth. We don't have to tell you who's first, but it's Verstappen is in Leclerc is second, and Fernando Alonso.
That's his
That's
third. That's his.
famous third.
He's always third, so he's in
And
his
this,
right spot. It's going to be interesting to see if at the end of it all on Sunday, if Lewis is going to beat Russell, because I think he
yeah,
wants to beat him as well.
he wants to, yeah. So
His
it's going to be
teammate,
interesting to see.
very
Yeah,
interesting.
so we've come to the end of another hour of the England Rogers Sports Hour, and you're listening to Love Bay Afrobeats Music Talk Radio. And thanks for everyone in the world, wherever you are, for joining us. And for you in Toronto, enjoy the rest of the sunny weekend.
For sure. Great having you, and looking forward to talking with you next week again. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone.